So if we want to print multiple lines of print out multiple lines of a text without using more than one print statement, we are going to use backward slash and then print it out. I'm sure. There's supposed to be an N here. Okay, so what is just at this point when you put the backward slash and the N, it breaks these guys to a new line. So I hope you get all we have been saying so far. So let's move on to variables. So basically variables are kind of a named location that stores a value like text, images, sounds, and so on and so forth. So to store a variable, you have to declare that variable. In Java, if you want to store an example, this message, we use this like since a message does not contain just a single character, it contains different kind of words that make sense. You have to use a string. There are other variable types, but let's start with this message. So what I'm doing here, I'm declaring the variable message. So now this is the type. My God. So this is the type of the variable. This is the type, that's the string, and then the message is the name of the variable. Then this first place is it determines the kind of, let's put it this way, the syntax for naming a variable is like type. This is the type, and then type first and then followed by the name of the variable, like we followed here. The type of this variable is a string, then the name is message. You could name it any name you want to name it. You could name it text or anything. I just decide, or let's take it text. Simply your choice. Now this type determines the kind of value it stores. So a string type variable stores like group of letters making sense. I am a guy, you are a great programmer, those kind of text, and you know. So there are other kind of variable types, like we have the int, we have sorry, don't mind me, the string has to start with a capital letter. I thought it was not. So we have the car, that starts with a lowercase letter. The int starts with a lowercase letter. The string starts with an uppercase letter, and then we have the let's just use this. We have the double. So this four I'm going to be explaining now. So what I want you to get familiar with is comments. Now comments in Java are lines of code that are not displayed. Like let me put it this way. They are lines of code that are not run by the Java compiler. So examples, this is a single line comment. Putting this in the line, if we run it, there's no error. Also, if we run these lines of code, there's a probability, not even a probability, there's a high, there's going to be an error. Let's put it straight. So what we are going to do is comment it out by using a multi-line comment. This is a single line comment that just comments a single line out, that so that the compiler does not actually run it. This is not a Java syntax, it's just me playing with letters. So we have to, but before we comment them out, I want to run it for you to see that it actually displays an error. So you can see it says syntax error on token, delete this token. Don't really have to delete it. So let's comment it out using a multi-line comment. Still the same function like a single line comment. The only difference is that it spans more than one line. Let's do this. So you see there's no error and we're running through. So comments most times are used to explain lines of code to the reader of the code to make it more readable. So I hope we all get that. So we have talked about printing out in Java. We have also talked about commenting comments. Then let's move on to using the variables. All we have done is declared variables. We have shown you the syntax of declaring variables, like the int is a type, then the name, probably let's say number, and then this a basic variable declaration. You can go on, pause the video, do the car, do the double. I won't advise you doing the double now. No, you can do the double, declare it. So let's move on to assigning the variable. So now when you declare a variable like string, text, you didn't actually put, you have created a container, like you're bringing an envelope, you have not put a text or a letter inside that envelope, so it's empty. So for us to put, let's still make it a letter inside this envelope, or text inside this container for storing text. We assign, we use, let's say we assign it by using the name of the name of that variable, then the equal to operator, but it's not equal to in Java, it's called the assignment operator, and then quotes, then anything we want to put here. So probably I'll say you're great. Then remember, every line of code ends with a semicolon. Then let's run the code. Um, you know, Java listens to everything we say. It won't do anything we didn't command it to do. So there, what we did was creating the variable text, assigning it. You shouldn't be expecting an output when we didn't tell it to print out anything. So for you to print out a variable, you're so scattered. For you to print out a variable, you use your print statement. Then the name of your variable without putting it in quotes. Quotes are not needed here. Just the name of your variable and hola. You're done. You will wait. So that's how to basically print out a text using variables. So what you did in the first line is you declared in this line, is that you declared the variable, you assign the variable, and you're printing out the value of the variable. So hope you get this up to this point. So the next thing we're going to be doing, let's go for other types like integer. So integer stores numbers, whole numbers, just whole numbers. You can't store fraction in integers. So let's say a whole number. So you can see the way I named the whole number. The first letter of the was a lowercase, then after the whole word the next letter is an uppercase letter. It's called camel casing. It's not compulsory, but it actually makes your code more readable, and then it's kind of a convention for naming variables to make it more understandable in general. So int whole number, we declare it, and then we assign the whole number to a number. But you remember when we are using strings, we use quotes, but in int we won't be needing quotes. We just assign it directly. That's the syntax. So let's say 25. There's something wrong. Okay, the text variable, it's trying to decompile. So let's print out the whole number. So whole number. So we'll be expecting an output of 25. Now that's basically how to print out variables and assigning them. First of all, declaring them, assigning the variables, and then printing them out. So the next thing we're going to be doing is the next data type we're going to be doing is the double data type. The double data type actually stores fractions, not like 0.5 kind of. So this is not supposed to be a whole number, like 0.5, 0.6, 0.2, just fractions in general. So while the integer it's syntactically wrong, that means it's kind of incorrect to a assign point floating numbers to an integer data type or variable type. So it gives us an error. So that's all for variables. And then let's try the last the type, variable type, or maybe data type on our list, which is the cat. So what the cat basically does is stores um it stores just single letters like A, B, C, D, E, F, so on and so forth, but not more than one. So let's say characters. It basically stores characters, just so far as a character. So let's change this number to character, and then when you want to assign a character, you just use this, then the character you want to assign. Then let's print out the character. As I said, character does not take more than one character. Just if you want it to be more than one character, just change it to a string, then use the. So let's violate the rule and get error. Error. Invalid character constant. So what we're saying is that it shouldn't be more than one character. That's what the character keyword is basically for. So that will be all for now. But before we go out, we're going to be doing you assigning declaring the variable and then later assigning it is not the only way of storing values in Java. You could also declare a variable and assign it on a single line of code. I know that was like, oh. So it's not different. You could try it for the rest. Just like the string, we use string, then text. Instead of going to the next line, adding this, going to the next line, saying text equals to anything, I love Jesus, or something like that. You just assign it directly here by saying I love Jesus. Then every line of code ends then with a semicolon, then you print it out. Then you print out text. Yeah, hope you do. Then that's basically how to to declare a variable and assign it on a single line. So you could try it yourself with other data type, just using the syntax, the type, the name, then the assignment operator, then the value you want to impute there, and then always remember close that line with a semicolon. So that will be all for variables. Now let's talk about these variables. You can't in naming variables you can't use a keyword to name variables, like naming this our variable int instead of text. It's not possible. This is a Java reserved keyword, so you can't name a variable class. Now it's not possible. These are Java keywords that are reserved, like public. They are Java keywords that are reserved. So basically, I don't expect you to cram all the Java keywords that are reserved. If you're using an IDE, most of this should be highlighted like here. So you should know that, oh, there's a Java keyword. This is highlighted here, and you don't know what's new is. You should know it's a Java keyword. So that will be all for now. And one last thing. I love you.